Have you ever watched a movie 10 times and only on the 11th viewing did you notice something you never saw before? These hidden details in movies, also known as Easter eggs, are suggestive winks from the film's directors and editors. While most of them are intended for everyone's enjoyment, you sometimes can't help but feel like those little details are for your eyes only. So sit back, relax, and grab the popcorn. It's movie time! Don't forget to click the subscribe button and turn on notifications to join us on the bright side of life. Number 1. Zootopia's nod to Keanu Reeves. In 2016, audiences got to peek into the lives of their favorite zoo animals, but they probably had no idea that a nod to Keanu Reeves was hidden in there. In one particular scene, there's a picture of an animal sitting on a park bench, and it's pinned to a map. This seemingly innocent pic was a nod to the A-list actor Keanu Reeves. This picture of him sitting on a park bench alone eating his sandwich was captured by a paparazzi and became a meme sensation, portraying a sad, self-reflecting Keanu. Poor guy. Number 2. Deep Blue Sea's nod to Jaws. Well, both of these films have slightly different premises. They're both about one scary thing – sharks. But there's no question that Jaws, first released in 1975, is the mother of all shark flicks. That's probably why the creative minds behind Deep Blue Sea decided to pay homage to the classic film by showing an abandoned license plate on a pier that matched the one shown in Jaws. Number 3. The Mountains in Cars. Cars is a super fun flick giving personalities to our favorite automobiles. As a fun little detail, the artist behind the film turned the mountains shown in one scene into shapes of classic cars, similar to the idea of Mount Rushmore, which shows the faces of 4 U.S. presidents. This fun detail is easy to miss, so pay close attention when you're watching. Number 4. Dragons acting like cats. Meow. In the exciting animated film How to Train Your Dragon, you may have noticed that Toothless, one of the movie's main characters, looks a bit familiar. If he reminded you of your pet cat, you're not crazy. The movements of Toothless were based on one of the animator's cats. Again I say, meow. Number 5. The Pursuit of Happyness's quick cameo. Have you ever watched any of the classic horror films by Alfred Hitchcock? If you have, you probably noticed that the famous director loved to make subtle cameos in all of his films. Echoing this idea, The Pursuit of Happyness, starring Will Smith, also featured a quick cameo. Except it wasn't the director who showed up on screen, but rather Christopher Gardner, the person the entire movie is based on. Give the movie another watch and see if you can spot him. Number 6. The Matrix's camera trick. In this fan-favorite action flick, there's a scene where Morpheus and Neo are seen in a doorknob's reflection. But if you look closely, you can see the camera in plain sight. It looks like they dressed it with a strip of green fabric to make it look like it's part of Morpheus's tie. Leave it to the people behind the Matrix to play tricks on our minds. Number 7. Gladiator's fashion faux pas. The film Gladiator, starring Russell Crowe, takes place in the time of ancient Rome, an era where people in the ring wore leather, iron, and other protective gear. But in one scene of this action flick, if you look closely, you'll notice there's someone in the background wearing blue jeans. Hey, there's no way Levi Strauss had a denim line all the way back then. In the scene, you can see the person realize they're on camera and quickly get out of the frame. But for some reason, the editors didn't cut this out. Number 8. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs history lesson. This fun animated film is filled with hilarious moments. But who knew you'd get a small history lesson out of one of its scenes? In the scene where pies are falling from the sky and hitting Mount Rushmore, all the presidents carved in the mountains are lit straight on, while Lincoln's face is hit from behind. This is exactly the way he was assassinated in real life, but with a bullet, not a pie, of course. While this scene isn't exactly hidden, it's easy to miss that tiny little detail. Number 9. The Godfather's cryptic messages. This classic mafia film is filled with Easter eggs, and the film's biggest fans can tell you all about them. One interesting thing that happens in the movie is the suggestion of impending death. In many scenes in the movie, you'll see the appearance of an orange just before someone dies. That's one juicy little detail, isn't it? Hey, leave the gun, take the cannoli. Number 10. Up shows great attention to detail. In this touching animated film, Carl, one of the main characters, is shown in a picture with his deceased wife, Ellie. If you take a closer look at the photo, all the things that are on Carl's side of the room are rectangular in shape, while Ellie's side consists of round items. The animators really got creative with the details of this film. Hey, I still can't get through the first 10 minutes without crying. Number 11. When universes collide. If you've seen both Alien Covenant and Blade Runner, you may have noticed that both sets of characters use the same computer interface. This has led many fans to believe that the movies take place in the same universe. Number 12. Spider-Man takes the Marvel Universe seriously. In a scene from 2017's Spider-Man, you can see a wall of famous scientists in a physics classroom. Among these famous faces, you can see Bruce Banner, played by Mark Ruffalo, the scientist that can turn into the Hulk in the fictional Marvel Universe. This little detail is very easy to miss. Number 13. Aladdin's carpet is alive and well. Remember the famous magic carpet from the movie Aladdin? Well, you might have seen it in other movies as well. In 2016's Moana, you can see the same magic carpet boasting the same beautiful design. It's true. Number 14. Coco's shout-out to The Incredibles. Much of the movie Coco takes place in the afterlife, where everyone looks like skeletons. In one scene, you can see a movie poster on the wall of an alley featuring The Incredibles, except they're drawn as skeletons. It's easy to miss this fun detail, but next time you watch this fun flick, try to keep an eye out for it. Number 15. Costume shortages. If you've seen both The Indian Runner and Captain Fantastic, Viggo Mortensen wears the same shirt in two different scenes nearly 25 years apart. Either this was done on purpose to catch the movie fans' eyes, or their costume department needs to get way more creative. I think it's the first one. Number 16. Jurassic World gets cheeky. A sequel to 1993's Jurassic Park, Jurassic World provides a little bit of humor during its fast-paced, high-intensity scenes. In one frame, you can see one of the characters standing in front of a t-shirt for sale that shows a cartoon T-Rex uttering the words, "I'm back." You gotta admit, that's pretty hilarious. Number 17. Blade Runner 2049's Era Identity Crisis. In Blade Runner 2049, Ryan Gosling's character writes on a tablet in one of the first scenes of the movie. But this tablet is actually a plate holder belonging to a camera used in the 1920s. Looks like these two eras got a little bit confused. Number 18. The Lego Movie's nod to reality. In 2014's The Lego Movie, one of the little astronauts has a crack in the lower half of his helmet. If you ever had this kind of Lego in the past, you may remember experiencing this with your own little astronaut. Talk about keeping it real. 19. Big Hero 6 Baymax Vacations in the Polynesian Islands. If you look closely in one of the scenes from Moana, you'll see that one of the pirate gang members of Kakamora bears a striking resemblance to the character Baymax from Big Hero 6. Coincidence? Probably not. Number 20. Monsters vs. Aliens exists alongside Shrek. Now, if you look closely, the general in Monsters vs. Aliens is wearing a little Shrek pin. Either ogres exist in their universe, or they're big Shrek fans. Number 21. An editing blunder in Frozen. In films like Frozen, it's easy to see that a lot of hard work went into animating the film. However, if you look really closely, there's a scene where you can see that Kristoff's finger disappears into Anna's side as he lifts her up. Next time you watch the movie, try hitting pause when this scene comes up, so you can get a good look at the mistake. Major whoopsies. After learning about all these hidden Easter eggs from your favorite films, don't be surprised if you've developed a more critical eye while watching movies and TV shows in the future. So, have you found other hidden details in any of the movies mentioned in this video?